Okay, what's up, guys? So today I'm joined by one of the lifestyle marketeer students. His name is Tor. So what's up, Tor? How are you doing?
Hey James, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, very good. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining me. Obviously, today we just want to touch on some pretty awesome success that you've had with obviously the lifestyle marketing program. So first things first, just tell us a little bit about you, who you are, where'd you come from, and a little bit of kind of your background before you actually joined the program, please.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Tor, as you said. So I was working in sales for about 3 years prior to starting the program. And one of the things I always wanted to do was start my own kind of local marketing business type organization. But like I never, well, to be quite frankly honest, I never had the guts to go ahead and do it. And also, just because I was working in like a sales kind of environment, I thought, you know what, I'm making decent money in sales. Let me just stick it out for maybe 5, 4, 6 years, and I'll be able to take it from there. But I think it's kind of one of those ambitions that a lot of people have in their mind is to go and start their own thing.
Yeah.
And they never really have the guts to do it unless you have guidance from others who potentially been successful. So obviously I reached out to yourself, wanted to just know a bit more about the sort of things you do, what you can do with your own business. And then if I can apply that to my own ideas, obviously found that I could. I figured, you know what, things are working quite well. So let me not do my 9 to 5 day job doing sales anymore. Let me
Yeah.
actually put my effort into it because I can make a lot of money doing it. And
Awesome.
here we are now.
Awesome, man. So, what? Just kind of tell us a little bit. You mentioned you were in sales. What was your life like when you were, doing that job? What were your hours like? What did your kind of lifestyle look like? What was the major thing that you were trying to get away from? What attracted you to start your own business in the first place?
Yeah. So to give you a bit of perspective, I live in London and I worked out in Staines. So anyone who's from the UK knows that that journey can be about an hour and a half to 2 hours every morning.
Mm.
So I started work at about 8:30 in the morning, which meant for me to get ready for work, I'd probably have to be up by like 6 latest. Um, Bear in mind, at the same time, I was looking to try and start my own, like start this whole business stuff. So when I would come home, my evenings would be taken by having to work on the business, figure out what exactly I need to do, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I was really looking at maybe an 8:30 to 5:30 work day, but
Mm.
then after that, a good 2 hour journey home. And then after that, a good 3 or 4 hours of work before I even have time to even chat to my girlfriend. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, life was pretty tough. Um, but like I said, I always saw that end goal of like being able to do something like this kind of thing. So that's what kept me motivated through, I guess.
So, so kind of it was like the lifestyle freedom, right? By the sounds of things, again, a very sort of common one that people come up with. At the end of the day, people just get sick of devoting their life to another business and somebody else making somebody else rich, right? Is that similar for you?
Yeah, more than lifestyle freedom. I want to travel a lot. Me and my girlfriend, we love traveling. We also want to kind of just have a bit more control over our own lives as well outside of that. Because even things as easy as like seeing friends and family,
Yeah.
when I was working those many hours, it actually became difficult because you
Yeah.
can say, oh, yeah, you're going to see your friends and your family on the weekend, but your weekend is the only free time you've got now at this point. So you maybe want to do other things for yourself or, take up a hobby or something like that. So
Yeah.
since doing this, I've had so much more free time to be able to do the things I want to do. It's benefited me loads.
Wicked stuff, man. So, where did you find out about myself and the lifestyle marketing program? How did you come across me, and what did that look like?
Yeah. So one of the things I was doing was joining a lot of different Facebook groups to learn a bit more about how people are maybe starting their own marketing businesses, if they're, how they're finding clients and things like that. And I actually came across you on one of the Facebook groups,
Mm.
and I remember messaging you, just asking a bit more about your experience because I think somebody asked a question in the group and you replied to it and you gave like a really like strong answer.
Yeah.
And I always make it a thing to make sure I can like ask as many people as possible who know what they're talking about, what kind of thing they're doing.
Sure.
And then you obviously told me about your experience and how you found it and how you moved country and, kind of started your dream life, which is the exact kind of thing that I want to do.
Mm.
So I just thought it'd be good to have a full conversation with you, understand how it worked, and then took it from there.
So you really see the value in having somebody, a mentor, somebody who's kind of been down the path that you want to go down, and letting them kind of give you the answer to finding that success, right?
Yeah. I think it's like I said to you one point before. It's kind of like if I was to go to university without a lecturer, where would I be? Like I would stand absolutely no chance, right? So
Yeah.
especially if I'm entering a world where it's like business and you don't have anybody that's going to be able to lean on. You don't have anyone you're going to ask, like a classmate or anything like that. You've got to have someone who's done it before, be able to guide you, mentoring, and you were in the right position to do that.
So what have your results been like? So first of all, how long have you been in the program roughly? Is it about 90 days to 120? Is it about 3 or 4 months roughly?
Yeah, it's about 3 months, maybe a little bit less than 3 months.
About 3 months. So in those 3 months, like what have you what have your results been from the program, both client wise and kind of finance wise? How are you doing now with your new business?
Yeah. So to put perspective, like when I first started and when I first left my job, I had absolutely no clients, absolutely no income coming in through this. But I had that much confidence in the course and the ability to be able to get clients that I still took the jump. Now, 3 months, not even 3 months in, I'm making about 5,000 USD per month.
Awesome.
And that's off of obviously 3 clients only. So I've got a lot of capacity to grow even more. And like I said, I'm just looking to kind of fill up my time with more client work and more and so on and so forth.
So there's plenty more to come, but in terms of your workload right now, so you've just said that you've got 3 clients and you're making $5,000 a month, doing this, right? Doing local business marketing. So, tell us about that big deal that you've just landed recently, and how does that look, and how has that like one deal basically transformed your life ultimately?
Yeah. So up until getting this big deal in, I was still confident. Obviously, I was in a position where I was already, picking up clients quite easily. But I do have like a couple of holidays coming up, stuff like that, stuff that I booked in a while ago. So I was thinking, you know what, it might be a bit of a tricky one. But actually, you realize that when you get one really big deal in, and this particular deal was 3,000 USD. When you get one, and that's per month on a monthly retainer, so that will be on an ongoing basis. So when you get one really big deal in like that, you start to realize that actually this can not only cover one whole holiday's expenses, but it can also go towards savings, investments, your own rent, and so on and so forth. Yeah. And that was, like, to be honest, having used kind of the guidance on the course, it wasn't particularly challenging to get that deal in. I think the biggest challenge that most people have before doing something like this is realizing that people are willing to pay for this kind of thing. Yeah. And then getting guidance from someone like yourself who's already got people paying for it gives you that confidence to then just go and ask for that much money. And at the end of the day, these are businesses we're reaching out to, so they will always have money. So I think that was like, it was more of a bit of a game changer for me, because now I'm going on holiday being like, oh well, I've got like a decent buddy, as opposed to like
extra cocktails all around. So I bet your missus is happy, right?
Yeah, exactly that.
So how so you're doing $5,000 a month now compared to less than 3 months ago when you joined the program and you were doing 0. So you took the leap, and obviously it's paid off massively for you. But in terms of kind of more personal, like affecting your personal life, not just financially, but what does your kind of work commitment schedule look like? And, what does your lifestyle look like now compared to what it looked like before when you had a full-time job?
Yeah. So, like, to put in perspective again, obviously before I'd have to wake up at like 6 to travel all the way out. Even James knows now he'd be lucky to catch me up before 9. I don't think that's a necessarily great thing to say. A lot of entrepreneurs probably get up a bit earlier, but that's just a conscious choice that I made, because I was so used to waking up so early that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna treat myself to a lie-in because I want to have a better life. So probably up around like 8:30, 9ish. I have time to have breakfast, which I never had before. Which is, I know it seems so small, but like it's a pretty big deal, right? I have time to go out and do other things in the day. I do a lot of volunteering. So like a couple of days a week, I could commit to volunteering type stuff. I like giving talks as well, so I have time to do that as another hobby. And exercise, I make sure now that I go to the gym probably a good 4 or 5 times a week. Whereas before, when I was working, I struggled to get 2 or 3 in, to be quite honest. And on top of that, diet is a lot easier when you're kind of working for yourself than it was then as well. So those are just a few things.
But I was going to say, so like, if anything, it sounds like your health has even improved, right? So what about your happiness? Would you say you're happier? You're a happier person now than you were before?
Yeah, 100%. So I think it's hard to measure happiness because you don't really know when you're happy. Yeah. But like sometimes someone like my girlfriend will just remind me of like the past times when I was working, and I literally turn to her and be like, do you know what? That's so true. It feels so distant now that I don't even remember having to go through that. And all these things probably seem quite small to like the average person, but I imagine when you're, someone who's got a bit of a desire to be a bit more free, these kind of things can be a real game changer for you. Just being able to get those couple hours extra sleep or those couple hours more to see your friends and family. Those are really important things in the long term because we're only going to get to live this life one time. So you don't want to spend all of it traveling to Staines on Monday morning on a delayed train.
Mate, it's awesome to see, like, because I've seen it in you. I've seen that your confidence has grown, and you're a very charismatic guy, mate, and it's obviously doing wonders for you. So obviously we're going to keep pushing forward and push for that. What's your kind of next goal? Are you looking at? You've hit 5 now. What's your kind of next?
Yeah, so I had a goal to get 10K a month by the end of December. I think it's very achievable at this point. If I look at the amount of time I have available, even with the current clients I have under my belt, I have more than enough time to go out and get probably 2 or 3 more that will take me there. Plus, I've got the results under my belt for these ones that I can use as a bit of leverage to go out and ask. I think only thing I've really got to do between now and then is just come up with a plan for exactly how I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'll be okay.
Yeah, and obviously we'll be more than happy to help you develop that as part of the group. So, what's your just final couple of questions, mate? What's your favorite part of the program? What do you really think is that this kind of part, or this part of the program has really, really helped me change my life, or all of it? What's the kind of real valuable things that you take out of being part of the Lifestyle Marketeer program and community?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I think are valuable. I can maybe give the top 3.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Yeah, so I think one of the first ones is having access to templates that have worked before for you. So when you come on the program, you get given, I think, is it 30 or 35 templates or something like that?
Yes, 33 currently.
Yeah, which is great. So 33 different industries, you've got templates that will drive results for each of them, which just makes you that much more confident because I could come there and I could do all the research in the world, but no research is going to be as good as having something that's already worked in the past. So using that is great for all my clients, and they love the results that it's brought in before. So it makes it really easy for me to sell to them and get results for them. I think the second thing would be the client acquisition stuff as well. So teaching us how to go out and actually get clients. Again, there is no hard and fast rule for these kind of things, but like being able to copy someone who's done it before just makes it that bit easier, and takes that, when you're starting a business, you've got so many other things to worry about. It takes that little bit of worry out. Yeah. And then the last thing is the fact that there's so many other people on the group. So if ever I have a question, and it's probably getting a bit too hectic now with loads of people asking questions, there's always someone who's able to give a response because we're always in different time zones. So no matter what time you may have a query, even if it's urgent, someone will most likely be able to get back and give help. So it's that idea of being at university again, having kind of like a lecturer and then your classmates who are all around to help you to make sure you're successful. The community
kind of I kind of take from the last one, right? The overall being part of kind of like a movement of people who are working towards the same goal, and the support that comes with that as well, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome. So the final question then that I have for you, Tor, is what would you say to somebody who's thinking of joining the program, but just hasn't quite taken that leap yet, or has some kind of fears and worries? What would you say to them?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a cliche, but I was definitely in their shoes, 100%. I mean, even when we first spoke, I was still not 100% sure about doing any program, never mind your program.
Yeah.
And I just think sometimes you have to go a bit more with your heart as opposed to what you're thinking in your mind, because you may be thinking, oh, well, I could go on this course and then I don't get any results. But then if you don't go on the course, what will your results look like?
Yeah.
So sometimes you've almost just got to put it in perspective and say, what do I really have to lose here? And if you're going into an entrepreneurial life and you're actually ready to take that jump, you know that it's something where you've put your safe full-time job to one side and you've taken that jump. So if you're going to take a jump with going into entrepreneurial life, you may as well take the risks that come with it. And that is, doing something that could benefit you tenfold long-term, like it has done for me.
Yeah.
And even if you feel, like when you come on the course, you maybe aren't 100% sure about it, you are still going to have access to all of those other people who are also doing the same thing as you. So no matter what, you've still got a community there of people that are trying to help. And you would never have had access to that otherwise. So yeah, definitely, you've just got to make a decision and obviously go with your heart, in my opinion, with this kind of thing. Awesome,
man. Wicked. Well, Tor, thank you very, very much for taking the time out to come and speak to us and sharing your experience of being part of the program. As always, mate, I'm really, really happy to have you here. Really excited for the next however many months or years we happen to be working together. Your results have been awesome. Keep pushing forward. That 10K will come very, very soon, I'm sure, mate. So thank you very much, and keep doing what you're doing, and I'll see you very, very soon.
Cheers. Thanks, James.
Cheers, buddy.